Hey guys, welcome back to BachMakers, your favorite show that recaps all things Bachelor Nation. Before we continue with this episode, we're going to ask you very nicely, Michael, please deliver the news.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share.
In that order, or reverse the order. It doesn't matter to us. Just do those things. Helps us. Enjoy this episode. We'll see you in the episode. Just keep watching. All right. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to BachMakers, episode 12, I want to say. We're going to break down the Golden Tell-All and another week of Bachelor in Paradise. A lot to go over. We had the final three. We're down to the final two for Golden Batch. We're down to the nitty-gritty of Paradise. Things are getting juicy. We both are going to have some strong takes, I feel like, today. And I'm a little worried where it's going to go, to be honest. But first and foremost, scoreboard check. You got 1 point this week.
Huge. Unexpected point. Not gonna
You
lie.
knew
I was
Rachel.
shocked.
You knew Rachel was going to stay. Don't act surprised.
I mean, that seemed forced. That seems so forced. I don't know.
Yeah, she's the Bachelorette. Everything's forced. She's going to be on the show no matter what. So don't play the I'm surprised card. Whatever.
I'm surprised.
We're tied up 12-12 heading into the final weeks. It's going to come down to who leaves. Whoever leaves in a relationship will probably win it.
What's the tie? What happens to tie?
I think a tiebreaker should be. How about this? A tiebreaker should be something about Joey's night one. And then we decide, like, say we pick 3 people who should stay for Joey's night one. And if anyone gets eliminated, something like that. We'll move it down the line to the next whatever. There's no way it's tied, though.
Double or nothing. Yeah, there's a way it's tied.
Unless unless all of Blake, Rachel, and Brayden get eliminated the same week.
That could happen.
Maybe. But unlike we'll cross that bridge if we get there, if it ends up being a tie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're tied up. We'll see how it plays. Again, the biggest wild card is going to be Leslie. If Leslie can get you 5 points, then you're sitting pretty.
10.
10
for an engagement. It'd be 10 for an engagement.
You're right. 10 for an engagement. 10 for an engagement.
Yeah.
So
that'd be nail in the coffin for sure.
Yeah. And we will talk about her chances coming up here in a second. Comment of the week. We'll run it back. Favorite quote. I want a favorite quote. Someone's just out of context. Whatever you want. Comment a quote. We'll send you some merch. That's all you gotta do. So make sure you subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. It's that easy. We'll send you some BachMaker merch. And speaking of merch, we have BachMaker merch, and I'm so excited. Mine comes in tomorrow. I can't wait. You can get ahead early. It's gonna be on the screen right now. Go buy some merch. Go buy it. We have some people from the show who will be wearing it soon as well. So get ahead of it. Get it while you can. Get it while it's hot. It's the perfect gift for your golden Glammy at home. You know, if your mom wants a Christmas present and you want to get it early, get it now. Buy some BachMaker merch. If she watches the Golden Bachelor, get it.
A little Thanksgiving present for the grandma or something. If you're seeing your grandparents on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. So go ahead and buy some BachMaker merch while you can. Everything will be linked in the description below. Let's get it started with our Golden Glammy, Michael. Who do you got for your Golden Glammy? They're basically everyone's available this week because of the tell-all.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna give it to Ellen. I think.
Damn it.
Her part of the tell-all definitely got me. Definitely got me some tears. Got me some tears flowing. So I'm gonna give it to Ellen.
Yeah, that she was gonna be mine. I'll switch it up. That was the first time it was like tears were guaranteed. That was so hard to watch. The whole Roberta storyline, her daughter being in the crowd. That was just cruel for the producers to put us through that. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they did.
That entire cast is just gems, and we can talk about it later on. But I don't think this season is as successful as it was or will be. If that cast is not as good as they were. They were perfect cast, perfect first
I
season.
mean, that cast really is showing me that a version of Golden Bachelor in Paradise is imminent. There's just
Yes.
no way we don't see Susan and Sandra and them again. There's no way we don't.
Yeah,
We've
we
got to
have
see
to.
them again.
Yeah,
So
this is not the end. This is not the end of the line for them. Um,
yeah,
I'll give my golden glammy then, and this will lead us almost straight into Gold Bachelor. So I'll give it to Faith.
yep,
That that breakup, that goodbye, and then that um not rekindling, but just seeing each other for the first time
hmm
after that breakup was brutal. Watching
hmm
Gerry break down, seeing Faith again
yeah,
was so just it was brutal watch. It was a brutal
yeah,
watch in a good way. Like you couldn't look
hmm
away. You just felt it felt so real.
yeah,
And it was yeah, it was cool to see because I think and we'll talk about this cuz a lot of people are turning on Gerry as I predicted last week. Um that was good to see because you can tell Gerry really does love all of these women. And I know that's why he's in deep water because he
yeah,
loves all of these women, but it is coming from a good place. And I think that's important. Um and Faith, I think she handled herself very well. I think it was never going to work with them because of the distance and the lifestyle. And I
yep.
think no matter what, it was never going to work. Does she still deserve to be top 2 over a certain somebody? Probably. Probably. I think most of America would be on our side with that one, but
Yeah,
who knows?
yeah,
But this is about Faith. Faith was phenomenal. She held herself with grace, and, so shout to Faith. She's my golden glamour this week.
yeah. And you kind of already touched on it. I think the way she handled the breakup, like after the rose ceremony, was crazy. It was crazy good. I saw a TikTok that was comparing, like a 20-something-year-old that got broken up with on The Bachelor. I mean, this was years ago. And then it showed Faith's breakup, like in the car and everything. And it was just night and day the way she handled it with the maturity and then just the poise she showed, like she's a vet. And she is.
Yeah.
So,
And those breakups have to be harder because of their age. Like, if
mhm.
a 23-year-old gets dumped on The Bachelor, you'll
Like
be
this is
fine.
the end. Yeah. Like, oh no,
You'll
I'm never
be
gonna find
there's
love
other
again.
fish. Yeah, there's fish in the sea,
Yeah.
you'll be okay. But at 71, you get this new chance at love, this new exciting thing, and then you get so close to the end and it just gets taken away. That's
Yeah.
devastating.
There's
That
there's
is
less fish in the sea. There's less fish in the
yes.
sea.
Yes.
Um, so
Tough, tough. Cringe of the week. You wanna go first? You got any?
let me read through my notes. You go first.
All right, I got one big one, and this is from a surprise winner. I never thought this person would win Cringe of the Week. We usually have our Aaron B's, you had our Sean's, our F. Peters. This is coming from a heavy hitter of usually never cringy, but Tanner. Tanner is bringing home my Cringe of the Week this week based off his conversation with Rachel, which came out of nowhere. Rachel and Tanner are now a
hmm
weird couple that just popped up. Um, they're having a conversation and Tanner, I forget what the circumstances was or were, but he said, oh, he's like, "Oh, what should we do next?" And he's like, "I think we should make out. I'm gonna kiss you now."
I feel like we've both been kind of through it this week.
Yeah,
Me and you are the outliers.
yeah.
What do we do now?
Probably make out.
Okay.
I'm kissing you.
And
Yeah.
Oh, Tanner, you're
Yeah.
better than that. Don't stoop to their level. Tanner, you don't need those cringy gimmicky lines to get
Yeah.
the girl. Maybe Rachel has that effect as the former bachelorette. She just like brings out the cringy moments and all like the good looking top tier guys, but
hmm
Tanner, I thought you were better than that. But that goes to show honestly, it's probably good. because it goes to show we all have our moments. We all have cringy moments, and I think that's a good point of this segment. Is we'll all fall victim to it at some point. If we were on the show, I'm sure we'd win cringe of the week every single week, but it happens to the best of us. But Tanner and Rachel, cringe of the week for sure.
So my cringe of the week is also from Bachelor in Paradise, and this is from when Michael comes down and he has a conversation with Olivia, Queen Olivia, and they have a little talk, and she says she's like, I'm from Rochester, New York. And then Michael B says, oh, like one of my good friends is from Rochester. And she's like, oh my God, no way. And then the producers start playing like this romantic, like cringe music. So it's kind of a mix of them two, but also the producers. They play this like romantic cringe music, like, oh my God, it's meant to be. Like one of his friends is from Rochester, New York.
I get it. Where are you from?
New York.
New York?
Not New York City though.
Okay.
Like upstate.
Okay. I have a friend that's Rochester area. I think isn't that New York? I feel like that's New York.
I feel like you're lying.
No, I'm serious. No, it's one of my...
I'm from Rochester.
What? That's crazy. This is like one of my big sis.
Are you being for real,
I'm
bro?
dead serious.
There's no shot. This is not real life.
What the fuck? This is so weird. Like, I guess that's a connection, and like that's cool that you have like some common ground from that, but like, what? Like, don't make that this big of a deal. Like, what? So that was pretty cringy. Just the way the producers kind of like portrayed it, and like, oh, they're meant to be like they're a match made in heaven because he's got a buddy from Rochester. Like, come on, Rochester's not the smallest town in America. Come on.
Yeah, and it wasn't he was from Rochester.
Yeah,
I know someone.
Yeah.
I probably know someone from most big cities in America. I could have that conversation with anybody. There were some interesting producer / editing decisions this episode, which we'll talk about when we get to Paradise, but a lot of storylines that just kind of got forgotten,
Lost,
and just lost tapes. We'll see. All right, before we get into our full Golden Bachelor breakdown, which there's a lot to talk about, there's two things I want to do. First and foremost, I want to have a moment, and Michael, you're welcome to jump in here, because I'm reaching a level of hatred and anger towards a certain somebody and a certain group of people. I think it's become a bigger problem, and it's Reality Steve and his little posse of people who hate fun. I will never understand. Reality Steve has been around for a long time, and his life goal is to just ruin fun and enjoyment for everybody. And he does his sleuthing, does his detective work, he figures out who wins, how it happens, what happens, whatever, and then he puts it on his little blog so he can make money. Which, chase the bag, do your thing. But if you're one of those people who goes on Reality Steve's blog, reads it, sees the spoilers, and then goes on a public platform and then puts all that information out there, you're the worst. And I hate you. And even if you're watching this show, you're not a batchmaker. If you're one of those people who goes out there and spoils things, you're not a batchmaker. Official stamp, we hate you. Because that's just, we have this big bubble of fun in this show that we enjoy. And then you decide to run up, pop it, and run away. Grow up. Reality Steve, grow up. And I don't want this directed towards him per se, because he actually doesn't. You're right. It is towards him a little bit, but he doesn't publicly put it out there on a big platform. He has his blog, so you have to search it out to go see it. It's the people who take that information and then bring it to a public platform. You suck. Reality Steve sucks a little bit, because that's still a dumb thing to do. I don't understand the enjoyment in that, but everyone just needs to grow up a little bit. Let's have fun. This is a fun thing. Keep it fun. That's my take on it.
Yeah, so shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the news source. Shoot the messenger. Which is
shoot the messenger.
The little burner accounts that like to spread Reality Steve.
I just don't
propaganda.
get it. I don't get like what's the enjoyment for you if you're gonna sit there and just ruin someone else's day?
Yeah, it's like, let's read the last chapter and then let's read the rest, then let's read the full book.
Which if you want to do
Or
that personally, fine by me. I don't
yeah,
care. Don't tell the last chapter to everyone else.
yeah.
You
Like
suck.
don't spoil Avengers Endgame when people haven't seen it
Who's
opening
that?
day.
LaShawn McCoy. Did you
But
see it?
yeah,
Remember,
somebody tweeted
he
it or
tweeted
something.
"R.I.P. my dog Tony Stark" like
Yeah.
2 days before it actually came out. He saw it early too. He
Yeah.
just tweeted. Well, I guess spoiler to Endgame for anyone who hasn't seen that.
Nah, it's you can spoil Endgame.
Yeah, we're past that point. Yeah, I was getting fed up with it, and at this point, we see so many comments. I don't know what to believe. I've seen it
Mhm.
all, so. But this is just a blanket statement for all those people who think it's fun to spoil things. It's not. You're lame. You're a loser, and I hate you. Um,
I really hope like he just goes on like a little run of just being wrong and then
yeah.
loses all of his following. Because
Mhm.
then, you know,
Well, that's what he should just be wrong, and he'll still get the same amount of engagement because people are still going to look like they won't know he's wrong until
the
a
end.
couple
And
more
then they'll
weeks.
forget about and then the next season they'll forget that he was wrong last season and he could
Yeah.
just do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
so
have. It's like the weather, man. You don't have to be right. People are still gonna want to know what the weather's like. So we'll see. Um, TikTok. I'm dumb, by the way. I put on our TikTok story. I said, "Hey, we're recording BachMakers. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll respond to them live in the show." I forgot stories are only up for 24 hours, and you
yeah,
can't
you
arc.
posted that 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I'd get ahead of it so we could like backlog them. Um, but they're not archived at all, so I have no idea what people commented. I saw
Oh.
there was one comment,
Yeah.
one
I did
person
see a
went on a
comment.
rant. Their argument was that Gerry is this big narcissist and he's a terrible
Yeah.
person, which I I would argue his moment with Faith got rid of all those arguments because he genuinely does care about these people. Is he going about it the best way possible? Probably
Mhm.
not. But I wouldn't go that far. The people were going so far to say Gary's a narcissist who doesn't care. He only thinks about himself. He wants blah blah blah. I I don't agree with that. I just think he's a little misguided, but he's heading down the correct path. He's just struggling
Mhm.
to get there.
Yeah. But he also could be just an industry plant. So,
True.
little got some acting background or something like that. So you never know. Never know.
He,
Um,
Yeah. He was at the pickleball like national championships or something this
yeah.
past weekend, and
I
he
mean,
was
that's
just
just a layup of like a promote thing. That's just a layup for ABC. Like that's a layup promoting
oh,
thing. So
100%. All right, well, we can get into the full Golden Bachelor recap. The
mhm,
tell-all. We get all of our golden grannies back on screen, which is so good to see all of them.
mhm.
Um, again, we
Some of
talked, huh?
some of them were looking a lot different than last time we saw
Better?
them. Yes, yes.
Who?
Um, Kathy, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what work she had
Yeah,
done, but like she had some work done or something, and
Kathy looked good.
she looked good. She looked definitely like younger than like what she looked like a couple months ago when they filmed. But
Yeah.
um,
And that was the first big thing they addressed. They obviously showed the recap of the entire season, what was going on. And then they gave the floor to Kathy and said, "Hey, what happened with the whole Zip It thing?" Um,
mhm.
and they apparently just squashed it, which I don't know if I really buy. I still think Kathy hates Theresa,
I
but
mean, I also could see that that was just very producer heavy, making the drama a lot more than it is. Like, I actually believe when Kathy was saying, like, oh, that's so in the past, like, it probably is. They're probably fine now. I'm sure if Teresa was at the tell all, they would have, dapped each other up and been fine. Maybe not that, because that'd be funny as hell if they
that
just,
would be
like,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I think they're fine. I think that was very producer driven. Kathy was
Yeah.
definitely made out to be sort of a villain, also kind of Teresa too. So, but yeah, I think they're good. I think Kathy redeemed herself for me at the tell all, not only by looking better, but also just by being, good sport and everything. I do want to say something about tell-all. One person that was definitely one of the stars of the tell-all, I'll say that. Got a little shout out from Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
But Susan, she was just like butting in any second. Like she was talking over everybody. That kind of pissed me off a little bit. I know she like, I think she just maybe all out push for like maybe either Golden Bachelorette or Golden Bachelor in Paradise, whatever. But she was just like talking every chance she got and like talking over people. That was a little frustrating. Like, relax. I know you're a very animated person, but like, let's chillax for a second.
Yes. I noticed that too. Everyone, the takeaway from the tell-all, everyone was saying how much they love Susan, which is fair. Susan's awesome.
Yeah,
She's a great
she is
personality.
awesome.
She was butting in quite a bit where I was thinking you weren't really that involved this season. You were the comedic relief every now and then, which every
And she,
season needs, but she was
yeah,
talking as if she was, I guess she was a top 5 finisher,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
strange, but
But
no
like the
one
most
actually
sneak,
thought.
yeah, the most sneaky top five, like Tanner and Charity season, like the most
Yeah.
sneaky top five finisher.
Just somehow.
Honestly, that's like
Yeah.
Tanner and Charity season, like snuck into the top five.
Or
By just like
Justin
kind of
was the final 2 for uh Katie's season because everyone else self-eliminated. Like Michael left, Greg
Mhm.
left, and then it was just Blake and Justin was like, "This, how am I here?" It's like, well,
Yeah.
I should not be here at this moment. So I do want to ask you this: if so, Kathy came across pretty well in the tell-all. There has to be a villain for each season. If you had to say right now who the villain for the first ever season of The Golden Bachelor is, who would you say?
Yeah, I mean it's Kathy. I would still say that. That's if I had to pick one, it's Kathy. It's not Theresa, it's Kathy. Period. I mean
I think
she got the zip it, she got the zip it line. She has her villain highlights. She definitely has the best Tavon Austin villain mixtape, you know what I'm saying?
I think the producers want it to be Kathy so bad. I think it's Theresa. I think Teresa's the villain of the season.
They might have accidentally made her the villain, which is kind of fucked, especially if she wins.
So that's my theory is they had to frame Kathy to be the villain to make Theresa look good because she wins.
That would be so
And so they
crazy.
brought up all this drama like, "Oh, this will get the sympathy all on Teresa's side because
But
there
that did not happen.
wasn't much else to have on her side." So said,
Yeah.
let's like amp up this drama a little bit so America will be on Teresa's side, and that backfired big time,
Yeah.
which usually
Yeah.
happens with the producers. Whatever they think is going to happen, America reacts differently.
hmm
And people
Well,
have
one step
turned
ahead.
on Theresa big time.
hmm
Which we're skipping ahead a little bit, so
Which
go.
I do know a lot of people have turned on Teresa, but going through comments and stuff, I think more like 5 days ago and a week ago, people were a lot against Teresa. I am seeing more and more of, what do you mean? Like Teresa's not that bad. It makes sense. Blah 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 blah. So I think there are a lot of people that are also on Teresa's side that can relate, that
Mhm.
understand why she's there and could possibly be the chosen one for
The
Gerry.
problem with that is I think those people are saying, I understand why Gerry picks Theresa potentially. And it's because they think Gerry is a not as good of a person as they are seeing on television.
A
You know what I mean?
narcissistic asshole.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, Gerry wants someone who like has no personality and just worships his every move. That's why he's going to end up picking Theresa." Which I
Gives me
I
that
don't get
sloppy
that
town.
vibe. I don't get it at all. We'll see. Um but next up we had Joan. Joan was on the hot seat. Uh this leads to the question, where do we sit with Golden Bachelorette? I think there's 3 options.
Yep.
I would say Joan, Faith, and Ellen. Those would be my 3.
I think if Teresa does win, I think Leslie definitely has a chance.
Fair.
100%.
I would throw Leslie in there potentially. No way Theresa could be there if Leslie wins.
There's not a chance. Not a chance. Yeah. I think Theresa could make a surprise appearance in Golden Bachelor in Paradise if Leslie wins, with just like trying to ignite the Kathy Theresa drama part 2. I could 100% see that. I would love to see that. But that's for next spring or whatever. I don't know.
So what's your
Summer.
power ranking for Golden Bachelorette? Let's say those 4: Leslie,
Um,
Ellen, Faith, Joan.
See, well, I was thinking about this a lot about mainly Joan versus Faith. I think Ellen definitely has a chance. America loves her, and I think she would be a great lead. She's very charismatic, talks well, is very animated and stuff. Joan, I don't know what would be the best lead. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't think she would be the best lead. She definitely has the looks, the age, but like some of the way sometimes when she talks, I'm like, this is very like kind of robotic and like a little bit like, I don't know, where I wasn't seeing it. But with Joan, they open up a lot more possibilities. With Joan being 60, they could go down to
Mhm.
55. They probably won't go below 55 with Joan, but with Ellen, they're still minimum probably. Ellen's what, 70, 71? Ellen, I want to
For
say.
some reason, I thought Ellen was younger than we
Faith is
thought.
60. Faith is 65, I believe, or 64. I think Ellen was 69 or 71 or 70. I want to say.
Ellen is 71. Wow.
Yeah. So with Ellen, they're probably only going down to 65, right? Because she doesn't want to date someone she doesn't want to marry someone that's 11 years younger, probably like a dude that's
Yeah.
11 years younger. So they're probably only down to 65. So they have a lot more room to go down with Joan. So I think that's the upside to Joan. And everybody loves her. She's hot. So
hot.
Yeah, and she's tall. I think she's got to be like, I don't know.
She does give off tall vibes. I could see her being like 5'9".
5'9",
I was gonna say
5'10".
5'10" maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say I'll give a slight edge to Joan right now. I think Faith came across way too emotional over Gerry to be ready for that next challenge. And that usually happens with the final 3 or 4 where they're too invested and too connected to the lead where they can't possibly be ready to go date 30 more people. So I would move Faith down, and I think the distance thing and the location and just setting her lifestyle would be a problem. So I would put Faith last out of that group. Joan or Leslie 1 and 2, and then Ellen right behind just because of the age thing. But I think any of those 4 would be great leads, to be honest. I don't see any problems there. Obviously,
I think
Leslie, we won,
the most dark horse one that we haven't talked about is, well, I guess we already talked about her, but Susan is a dark horse. I don't see it happening, but I think there's a slight possibility. If like none of the other people want to do it, but they want to do a Golden Bachelorette, I think they could still get good ratings, good views, and everything with Susan.
Yeah, I don't think Susan's their dream golden paradise cast. If they do some kind of paradise, Susan's the first person they want on that. Because America loves Susan.
I was thinking about this. Is there a possibility of a dual Golden Bachelorette? They can't pick between 2. They do 2, especially if they have Joan, who's like 60, and then they have like an Ellen who's 70. And so there's going to be that automatic one person tends to go for another person. They're both blondes. One person tends to go for like the younger guys kind of tend to go for Joan.
I don't think they would experiment that early on in this franchise. I think they're treating this as its own franchise, separate from like the Bachelor, Bachelorette, Paradise world. They want this to be its own thing, which it does seem to have its own audience at this point. And I think we've noticed that on our TikTok. There are people who are only watching the Golden Bachelor. They're not watching Paradise, which I think they didn't think would happen. I think they were banking on people who were going to watch Paradise end up tuning in an hour early to watch Golden Bachelor, which I think is the opposite. People are watching the Golden Bachelor and then turning the TV off, and they don't care about Paradise, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah, I would love to see the difference in ratings that they get. And I think Also, I mean, Paradise, especially for Eastern time zone people, Paradise goes on pretty late. But I mean,
Mhm.
there are a lot of people like me that watch it next day on Hulu. Shout out Hulu. So, I mean, you can watch it any time of the day, so it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah, I guess it
yeah,
doesn't matter that they're back to back because a lot of people are watching not live.
yeah,
Um, so and then they just probably just Google and watch one of the episodes. Um, we talked about Ellen being on the hot seat. That was just sad, sad. The R.I.P. to Roberta. What a
yeah,
like heartbreaking story. Um, she goes on the show because her friend Roberta convinces her to, and
yeah,
unfortunately, when she comes back from the show a few days later, Roberta passes. Her daughter, Roberta's daughter, was at the tell-all, which was great to see.
yeah.
Um, and this was just another moment where this cast came together and they all support each other and love each other, which is awesome. Which
Yeah.
I do hope finds its way into the younger casts, which
Hmm.
we never really got. I think I want to say it was Matt's season. It felt like the cast was really close because there was a lot
Yeah.
of drama with that season. Um,
Yeah.
I think that was the first one with that was the last one with Chris Harrison and all that was
Yeah.
going on. I think
Because
that cast,
Chris Harrison had some comments to make, and that
yeah,
those comments weren't taken very well.
yeah, and that cast kind of trauma bonded a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I hope we get that a little bit more. You don't want all just hand in hand kumbaya stuff because you want the drama, but I think there could be a little bit more of the cast bonding together in future seasons. That I think that's playing very well in the Golden Bachelor. Because think about it, there was almost no drama in this tell-all episode, and it was still great TV. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It like I watched every single second, was hooked, was ready for whatever was going to happen next. And the only drama was that rose ceremony. Um which let's talk about finally happens. They reveal who the final two is. Gerry gives his final rose to Theresa to the shock of most of America, but also we kind of saw it coming because it was so built up in the opposite direction. There was no way it could have happened, and it would
Yeah.
have made too much sense for Faith and Leslie to be the final two. So our final two are our girl Leslie, our
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful golden granny Leslie, and Theresa, who has, for better for worse, been dragged through the mud the last couple weeks. Not only
Hmm.
by probably this show unfairly, but also a lot of people on TikTok, on social media. So
Yeah.
those are our final two. Mike,
Yeah.
where do we go from here?
I mean, it's night and day. They're two different people, which is kind of crazy. That's why I think Gary's final decisions can be really tough because you obviously have Leslie. She's a little younger, definitely more lively, more fun, overall, just like better. Clearly. Um, and then you have Theresa, who, like you kind of have described it, is is a dog that follows Gary around and will be there to give him some good makeouts and some good tongue. Um, I didn't need to do that.
You
I
didn't
didn't
need
need
to
to
do
do that.
that. You didn't need to
But
do
she
that.
does that. But she does that. She does that. So yeah, so it's night and day between the two, and so it's going to be interesting to see how fantasy suites go. Um, definitely going to be a wild episode. We always seen in the preview that's Gerry says it's like this is the worst time of his life ever since his wife passed away. So it's gonna be some probably some tears coming. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Um,
We have a decision to make, I think, as the forefront. We are the captains of the Team Leslie crew. We are the captains of the train, the
choo
conductors.
choo.
Choo choo. Team Leslie, conductors, that's us leading the way from the front. Um, we have to decide, is Leslie too good for Gerry? Are we rooting for him not to pick her at this point?
I
Where do we
mean, I
stand?
don't
Is
know. I
that
mean,
like we obviously want Leslie to be happy in the best situation
yeah,
possible
yeah.
because
I mean,
she is our queen.
it it appears
I'm just
that
asking
one she's
questions.
yeah, I know, but it appears one she's happy with him. and she loves him. So like, as Team Leslie supporters and the captains of the Leslie train, choo choo. I think we want what's best for her and
Hmm.
what makes her happy. And if Gerry makes her happy, 100%, like, why wouldn't we want Gerry for her? You
It's a
know?
good point. Good point. It's like if your friend's dating someone you don't really vibe with, but they're happy, let them be happy. You know,
Exactly.
just
Exactly.
get out of the way. It's like, hey, not my circus, not my monkeys. Do you? As the
Um,
leaders
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
Team Leslie train, choo choo.
Choo choo.
We whatever she wants. As long as she's happy,
Yeah.
we are happy. Leslie's happiness is more important
Yeah.
than our happiness. So whatever she wants. So we will be rooting for her across against
Mm-hmm.
all odds. We will be rooting for her.
100%.
And there was the part in the teaser for the upcoming weeks that Gerry says what was the direct quote? He said, "I think you're the one" to Leslie, and then
Yeah. And
it gets chaotic.
yeah, I mean, there was a lot of little quotes in there. I didn't catch all of them. I kind of took your advice and didn't pay that much
Hmm.
attention to it. But they have been replaying that clip of that I was talking about earlier of Gerry saying this is like the hardest moment since like my wife has passed. So I do remember that quote of this upcoming episode, but I don't really remember too much. I know they show a little clip of Leslie going, "So when was the last time you had sex?"
Yeah.
And they tease like those kind of, I guess, more funny conversations or lighthearted. Um, but yeah, I don't. He might have said the one. I feel like he's already kind of said some things like that to her. So, and maybe has said that to Theresa too, but I guess they're not showing it. I think Gary's probably already told Theresa, "I love you." He just hasn't shown it.
They definitely has. He
They just
100%.
have, yeah, which is kind of fucked on the producer side.
That's what I
Like
can't decide what they're
if she,
trying to like convey to us.
yeah,
What are they showing us?
they're just they're just in their little producer van. I imagine it's like a van, not an actual studio. Like like a like like in Chuck, they're in like the van and everything, and they have all the screens in the van. I imagine them in the van, just going, "Oh my god, this would be fried if we do this," and they're just like cheesing.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just how I
I
picture
can't
them,
understand
and
the
they're all like our
process because
age.
there's always the conversation over who gets the winning edit or who gets the Bachelorette edit. They always edit someone in a good light,
Oh yeah,
so they
yeah,
become either Bachelorette
yeah,
or they're the winner. Which
yeah,
if Teresa ends up winning this thing, holy shit, she should sue the producers for making her look a little bit crazy.
yeah,
She should
yeah.
sue
That's yeah.
because they did her so dirty
Or
because
she
America's
is
not
just
on her
crazy.
side. Or she
Or she is
yeah.
just. I think going back to that, like who got the Bachelorette edit. I think thinking back, like Ellen got the edit of the Bachelorette. She
Mhm.
really did because it was very similar to how when Katie got eliminated. Katie Thurston.
Yeah.
That car ride, that walkout was just, it was very eerie. It was very like, oh, that's interesting, like foreshadowing maybe, or a little history repeat itself. So
No. Yeah, so we'll see. We do have to prepare ourselves mentally for fantasy suites cuz that'll be an interesting episode for us to talk about.
I mean, they're not gonna show
Well,
anything.
yeah, they're
So
not going to show like they never show anything, but they're going to talk about
I
it.
know, so annoying.
There's a-
Just cheesing, guys. Relax.
yeah, so mentally we're going to prepare. Is that next week? We're going to get actual fantasy suites?
Yeah, it's this coming Thursday. This
Oh
coming
boy,
Thursday.
that'll be fun. All right, let's move on. Bachelor in Paradise. First things first. Let's clap it up. Our boy Aaron B clutched up.
Yeah,
Clutched up out of nowhere against all
hella.
the odds. No one saw it coming, and then Aaron B said, "Hold up, step back 3, still got it. Didn't know he had this in his bag, but he does."
Yeah,
I'll say it, Aaron B has quickly become one of my favorites on the beach. It's one of those, and I say this
I've said that
lovingly.
before you.
I say this lovingly,
I've said
lovable
that before
loser
you.
type of vibe where you're just rooting for him. Like, come on, man, don't mess this one up. Don't find a way
Yeah,
to say something super cringy. Don't pull out the fig jam comment. just do your thing, and you root for him. So
Yeah.
he clutched up. Eliza,
Yeah.
I'm still a little worried Eliza's gonna get cold feet here. They kind of teased that a little
Yeah.
bit.
A
I
little bit.
I think she's gonna pull the rug out from under him really soon here. That's my guess.
That'd be so tough. That'd be so tough. That'd be so
Yeah.
tough for Aaron, obviously. I liked after that debacle was over, Aaron B just goes up to Wells and he's like, Wells, I think it's time to bust out the Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
It's like I need that. Like that was a lot, And it was like I don't know if I saw a tweet. I don't know if you tweeted this or I just saw a tweet on the hashtag Bachelor in Paradise. It was like the Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler in the bubble or like in the playoff Jimmy had like he was just like gassed, just going like this after he put up like 50 points. And it was like Aaron B like after the chat with Charity and Eliza. I was like, that's kind of facts. Like he kind of Jimmy beat it. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron
So,
B after not fumbling the bag for the 50th straight time.
yeah.
That's awesome. So shout out to him. Yeah, Charity came down to the beach, talked to Eliza a little bit, and he only dropped disgruntled X, that phrase, once this episode. So he's
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
improvement.
Crazy.
That's what we always look for, improvement. And he gets better each week. He improves. There's no fig jam, only drops disgruntled X one time. So shout out to Aaron B for that.
And on that, going back to Charity, she said something that I was actually really not a fan of. I wrote it down. When she was talking with Eliza, she said, like, you deserve the world to Eliza. And no, she was talking to Aaron B. Charity and Aaron B were talking, and Charity said, she deserves the world, like Eliza, and you deserve a lot. And she like paused before a lot. And I was just like, Charity, like, that was kind of a fucking bitchy comment. That was a backhanded compliment. Like she deserves the world. You deserve a lot. Like that's kind of how she said it. And I was like, that just like, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I was kind of like, really, Charity? Like, come on. Like, he's a good dude at the end of the day. Like, that just kind of pissed me off.
Isn't it wild that we've become Aaron B stands after all?
I mean,
we went through on.
I became Aaron B stan before you.
You were ahead. I will say that I was a late joiner of this club where I wasn't anti Aaron B. I was just annoyed by him, and I kind of I'll say this. I'm almost a true friend of Aaron B. I called him out on his bullshit in Charity season where everyone was gassing him up for how he handled the Braden situation. But I was like, no, Aaron B's kind of on the same boat, which now they're boys. So I guess I was right. So shout out to me.
Yeah. And also I do want to give a shout out to a fire comment by Olivia when she's like, when Aaron B gets back to the bar and he's ordering the Pinot Noir, she says, my boy looks like he just got done with 5 rounds with Tyson. And I was just like, that was fire. That was a fire comment.
She had another great line later on. And we'll get to that.
We'll get that.
I hope you have
I already tweeted that.
It's incredible. Olivia's the best thing to happen to this season of Paradise. This season does not work without her. She's the piece
100%.
that everything revolves around. And
Yep.
everyone's on her side. Everyone. People turned on John Henry real quick, rightfully so, which let's talk about now. Kat, John Henry, Olivia, we ended last episode off with this little love triangle. Kat pulls her little magic out of the magic box, the magic secret box, and said, meet me at the hot tub at midnight. Clock strikes midnight. John Henry goes up, makes out with Kat.
What I didn't like about that, was it midnight? Because he reads that there's no check of the time. He just goes straight to the hot tub. I think the whole midnight shit was just like so corny. Like they didn't check the time. Like no way it was actually midnight. No way it was midnight on the dot. That shit was corny.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
I don't know what the time.
But smooth, Kat, smooth.
Maybe smooth. Whatever. He falls for it, and he tells Kat, like early on, says, "Oh, I can see a future with you outside of here." And all of America
that's wild.
Was you can do what?
Wild.
You can see what with Kat outside of here? You're seeing all this, and you said, "I want this, but in real life, outside of the beach." You want that. You want Hurricane Kat in the city? Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, in my notes I have holy fuck, cat sucks. That was on my conversation. On that conversation, that was the only thing I said. But I do remember, I think I texted you a little bit about it while I was rewatching. I kind of see it. I kind of get John Henry, like he's shy guy, and Kat is giving him so much attention, like so much attention. And honestly, they haven't seen Olivia give that much attention after their one-on-one. She wasn't
She's
like
letting him
giving him the
breathe.
attention
She's
like
letting him
Kat was.
breathe.
I know, but time's short, and Kat was like getting to know him and talking to him a lot, and this and that. And I was just like, I kind of get it. Like Kat does suck, but like Kat was giving him the attention, and maybe he just needs a little loving. He needs a little
Olivia was
open mouth,
given
some
all the
tongue,
loving
some
he
time.
needed. He didn't need anything
I
more.
don't know.
The grass is
Maybe
always
he likes
greener.
crazy.
The grass is always greener.
Some
He had a great thing.
some guys love crazy bitches, and maybe he's just one of those guys.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe. But John Henry's on my watch list now. I loved him when he came in, and maybe it was because Olivia also
Yeah.
did, and we love Olivia.
He's
that
all
much.
shaky hands.
So nervous, and now he's with
all-
Kat, and now he's all confident. I don't. What is this?
He thinks he's the shit.
Yeah, what is this turn? What is this story arc? I don't like it. Kat and Olivia have this altercation on the beach,
Mhm.
which I'll say it was pretty underwhelming. I wanted some claws to come
Yes.
out. I wanted someone to swing. I wanted Tyson to come out
Mhm.
for a round. We just
Yeah.
got the little. What did Olivia do? She just like I'm not doing this and walked away.
Yeah, like the choir director.
Yeah, zip it. That was the Bachelor in Paradise. Zip it.
Yeah.
Which Kat reacted as if Olivia punched her in the face and told every single person.
Which we saw that coming. That Kat was going to react that way and make up a little different story of how it went. To her friends, Kylie and I don't know Mercedes.
The Mean
or
Girl
whatever.
table. Can we talk about the Mean Girl table?
Yeah. Kylie, Avon, Mercedes, and Kat.
Yeah, I've never.
Oh, about that table. Kat came on that table with about 150 chicken nuggets and a fucking pile of fries that was the size of like my head.
Kat is literally like throwing herself at John Henry at this point.
Her behavior also is a little weird. It's such weird vibe. It's very weird.
Kat's doing that?
She doesn't have a solid connection, so she doesn't. I think she's playing the field.
No, she's grasping at straws. She's not playing the field.
I saw that, and I know like her and Kylie were like splitting it or whatever, or her and Mercedes were eating it, but like when it was just her eating, like she was going crazy on these nuggets. Like, oh my god, there was like 100 million nuggets. I swear, there was like an endless supply, and she was just like chopping, feeling her hair. I was just like, what is she on?
I didn't see that. I didn't notice the nuggets. I was fuming at how mad I was with John Henry and Kat. Okay, rose ceremony. Some crazy stuff happened. First and foremost.
Before that, we had a little talk with Blake and Jess.
Oh yeah, they had a talk of, hey, like, let's pretend the last day didn't happen, and we're just gonna go back to dating.
I think that was crazy. One, Jess did not tell him about her whole makeout session with Tyler.
He has to know.
Jess said, I miss having you around when you were gone. And I was like, bitch, you were making out with Tyler on the daybed.
We're missing him that hard. Didn't miss him that hard.
Yeah, you were, but I guess they're back together for now, so whatever.
Yeah, and Genevieve got maybe 2 seconds of airtime this episode, and they just
which is tough. Yeah,
they forgot she existed.
Yeah.
They completely threw out those storylines. And speaking of production, editing, just glossing over things, Becca, just peace, said, I'm out of here for no reason. She knew she was getting a rose.
Yeah, I don't know why she like came on the show if she was just gonna like leave. And I think she was saying like, when she was talking with Jesse, she was saying like, I just don't know if this will like last. I'm like, well, give it a fucking try.
Or get the rose and see if someone else comes down.
Yeah, like you're just like leaving like that that was so confusing. Did she just want
Yeah.
like a little 3-day vacation? Like what is up with that? I was so
I don't even.
confused
I
by
think
that.
she was there for a day.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I honestly just don't think she likes being on camera too. Maybe that. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, like, why would you go on Paradise then?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was pretty
That was
weird how that all
so
happened.
strange. I think it caught
I,
production off guard too, and that's why we have
mhm. Yeah,
such little footage of it. It was very quick and very weirdly
yeah,
edited. I think they were
yeah,
just as confused as we were. That would be my theory.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, and I kind of feel bad for Braden a little bit, but at the same time, like a little karma, like he had a good thing going with Rachel, and then kind of just 180'd. So like, sorry, Braden. And he was saying like, I not find love here, so I'm just gonna give it. Like Braden's on his way out. Like there's no way he stays through the next rose ceremony.
Yeah.
He's not getting around.
I think
But
Braden's doing a little bit of saving face, and as he's had this full redemption arc on this season, in the back of his mind, he knows, because while this season's being filmed, I think The Bachelorette is airing. So I think he was still under the impression of, hey, America's not going to like me very much right now. I have to do everything I can to rebuild that image and make sure, hey, I'm
yeah,
not the douchebag you think I am, which I don't think he is. I
yeah,
genuinely think Braden's a good
yeah,
dude. I like Braden.
yeah,
He might be doing a little too much to try to garner some type of sympathy at this point, which I'm very
yeah,
thankful, because he saved our queen Olivia, which I
yeah,
can't. I am forever in debt to Braden as well as Olivia is,
yeah,
because he ended up giving that rose that he was going to give to Becca, gave it to Olivia, kept her around, which was
yeah,
awesome to see Kat's reaction to that.
yeah. Um, yeah. I think maybe. I mean, I think if Braden's gone next rose ceremony, or even before that, if he just kind of self eliminates, just leaves, or I mean, he could have a saving grace. Maybe they bring another girl down and they try to keep him around. Hopefully, but I could see him. Same with Sean. I could see him there next summer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that he's young,
Young.
literally 24, 25. So he could be back again.
Yeah.
So, but he's not gone yet. He's not gone yet.
Yeah.
Not gone yet. Never know what happens.
It was an interesting moment when Tanner asked him who he was going to give his rose to, because they probably both in that moment could have given it to Rachel. And we never have the situation where two people want to give the rose to one person. That almost never
Yeah.
happens. So we were very close to that, where Tanner was going to give his to Rachel, but if Braden was also going to give his to Rachel, it depends who goes first. And then I don't think
Well, Tanner went first.
Yeah, well, maybe. It depends how they
I think
edit
if Tanner went first and gave his to Davia, I think Braden's giving it to Rachel.
I agree. So
So
it's just interesting how that always comes together. Speaking of Tanner and Rachel, is that a possibility? I don't quite see it.
out of left field, age-wise, 31.
Well, and then we know
27, I think.
Jordan's coming back down.
Yeah, that's gonna end it, because I think her and Jordan are probably gonna rekindle some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the racer dude, right?
Yeah.
He was the racer.
Yeah, I think
Drive
he
cars,
did
the
something.
flies
He flies
planes.
or drives.
I think no, he does like the really fast cars. The like the drag not drag queen.
Yeah, he's a drag queen.
Drag
Yes, Jordan is a drag queen.
race.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he does that. So I think I think they're gonna rekindle, or at least it looks like they're gonna rekindle something. But so Tanner, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So eliminated to this week was Davia, Genevieve, and Becca self-eliminated. So now the ball is back into the girls' court. The girls are in control. The next day after the rose ceremony, John Henry comes down to try to apologize to Olivia, which doesn't go how he thought it would go. I'm still in. I will defend Olivia till the day I die because I love her, but I don't think John Henry's a bad dude. He's just dumb, and I'll stand by that.
Yeah.
Like he likes the intent. You kind of, I think you nailed it with, he loves the intention of Kat.
I know.
And it was just in the moment he got caught up in that. I think he's just a little dumb. for obviously for passing on Olivia, because Olivia is queen, as we've established. She also stands her ground, which I appreciate. She
Yeah.
literally called him out, said, "You're just apologizing to save your conscience," or something like that. So shout out to her for holding her own there. And then Michael shows up,
Yep.
which I don't know how I feel about him. How do you feel as a Michael yourself?
I don't remember him. I don't remember him too much. Like from
Yeah.
Charity season.
I
Like,
recognized
I don't know.
him, but
He was probably top 10. I don't know how deep he made it, but like I recognized him. I remember him a bit. But like he seemed all right. Like I don't know. We'll see. I didn't see too much chemistry between him and Olivia, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, the age difference. I think he was in his 30s. She was 24. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know. I don't think it's a guarantee. I don't think they're a match made in heaven, but we'll see.
And what was Olivia's line that we were going to talk about? It was, you just tweeted
Yeah,
out.
she was like, she was like,
I'm up.
I'm up.
He's stuck.
I'm up. He's stuck. Hey,
hi, how are you?
Yeah. I just tweeted that, but like reversed to like the guys version. I was like, "That's a fire quote."
I'm
like,
up. He's stuck. Hey, hi, how are you? That's awesome.
That's mic
She's
drop.
awesome. She's so many
No
good
pun
moments.
intended. Yeah.
Let's do.
Oh, also talking about like narrator, Peter like low-key became the narrator this episode, which is kind of funny because like Peter and that new chick literally are so irrelevant. Let's be real. They're the most irrelevant couple. They're the most irrelevant. They are space fillers. They're space fillers. They are literally. They are just occupying beds at Paradise. They are so irrelevant. No offense, but
They are. They're not doing anything. They're not.
And Peter became the main narrator last episode.
Yeah.
And one of the producers said for like the job description or whatever they put, they're like only narrator available right now. And I was like, that's fire. Like that was because he literally did all the narrating that episode pretty much because Sean left.
Yeah.
So they need a new guy narrator.
Here's the thing, and I think I know why they're irrelevant, is every new person who comes down to the beach just isn't interested in either of them. So they just stay together. There's no one to come in and break up their relationship because they're just there. And no one's like, "Oh, I'm here to see Sam," because no one knew who Sam was.
Yeah.
And then no girls coming down, "I'm here to see F. Peter," because no one knew who he was.
Yeah.
So if they get engaged at the end of this, that would be the funniest engagement in the history of the show. If they end up together.
Because honestly, the producers probably barely air it because they're so irrelevant. They'd be like, "Oh shit, they're getting engaged." Like, this will get like 5 seconds at the end, but let's just show like Tyler and Jess making out more or something like that. You know?
They're like, oh, they opened the episode with
was...
it. They're like, oh, by the way, like, F. Peter and Sam are getting engaged, but now we have someone new coming down to the beach.
Yeah, and it was the 12th place finisher from fucking Michelle's season.
Like they like overlap it with Katie coming in. They're like, oh, Katie's coming in as F. Peter's proposing to Sam.
Yeah.
Which
that is coming up.
Katie's coming this week. I think it's the most in and out you could possibly be on this show. I think she's there for 10 seconds.
So do you think she's there less than... Remember we did rankings at the start.
Yeah, and you were terrible. You said Hannah Brown was going to be there the longest.
But she was low-key because she played that game with them.
She was there longer than Charity. You're right.
She came, then she left, and then she came back again. So I said Katie, Hannah Brown, Charity, and I'm low-key kind of right because Hannah Brown's been there more than Charity. Yes, that's facts. Yeah. And Hannah Brown played that game. She was there a while.
All right. You're not wrong. You're right. I think.
Thank you.
I think she's there, and then she has this moment of, hey, like, let's talk. We haven't talked in 2 years since we were engaged to each other. And then she ends up basically like giving her blessing, even though he doesn't need it. It's going to be a weird moment like that. But we got to remember, I mean, she goes straight from that to filming F-Boy Island. So
yeah, and she's been posting some pics with Blake on
She's such a
Instagram.
pot stirrer. I love her for that,
Yeah.
but
She's hyping up her entrance to she's been doing it for not F Boy to Bachelor in Paradise,
Yeah.
and she's low key been doing it like for the past couple weeks, and like slowly building because people have been asking her questions about it.
yeah.
So that she was on the the trailer, but like I thought she was gonna come way long ago. Like I did not think it was gonna be this deep into the
It
season.
would,
that
you
she
know what would
came,
be
but
unreal? An unreal twist.
she
So we know Katie's filming F Boy Island right now. What if she ends up going on Paradise, getting back with Blake, and then the season finale of F Boy Island, she reveals herself as an F girl and saying, I'm already back engaged with Blake. Screw all of you. I'm taking the money. I don't know how the show really works. I've been trying to keep up,
yeah.
but maybe
Is that
I don't know if
legal?
that's legal.
That seems like a hack. That seems like a hack. She could just do that
That would be-
because she guarantees makes it to the end, right?
Yeah.
Because she's one of the girls, right? That's a hack.
That would be an awesome twist in all of this drama.
Infinite money hack. Be an F girl on
Hey,
F Boy Island.
Katie's making money moves. Katie's making money moves. She knows
Yeah.
what she's doing. But I think she's in and out very quickly. And we'll
Mhm.
see. We'll see how these couples work.
We'll see.
We talked about last week. We're near the end, even though Tyler doesn't think so. Tyler thinks we're halfway through. We're somewhat near the end here.
I mean, yeah, we have a 2-hour episode this coming week, and then none for Thanksgiving, and then an hour episode because Golden Batch finale, and then week after that, 3-hour long finale.
Mhm.
So I guess we have 6 more total hours. So I guess that's 3 weeks.
Which someone
Yeah.
also was commenting that the Paradise rose ceremonies happen every 3 to 4 days.
I think
Which
so.
means
I
means
agree.
they've been on the beach for a week and a half max.
I agree. I think that's true.
That's wild.
I 100% think that's true. I think Paradise is the entirety of it seems like it's filmed in a couple weeks.
Unreal.
Yeah.
All right,
Like 3 weeks.
last thing with
max.
Paradise. We'll do this the next couple weeks. Engagement check. Who do you think's getting engaged? How many engagements? Where do you think we're at with that?
The only engagements, well, F Peter and what is even her
Sam.
name? Sam? I don't know. No. I actually do think they'll leave as a couple though.
Yeah.
I do. It'll be subtle, but I think they will. Aaron B, I don't know if they'll be engaged. I don't know if he has the balls to just, propose. I don't know. I don't see them getting engaged, but I think they'll try it. And then I don't think Avon has the balls to
I disagree. I
propose
think
to
that's the
Kylie.
only one we get. I think Kylie and Avon are the only proposal we get. I think
I think they keep dating, but I don't know. I think
they're
don't think
gonna push
engaged.
it. They're like the most stable couple. They're going to push an engagement. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. They have to get at least one. Which I think it's gonna be them. And I think we get 2 or 3 couples who leave together. Blake and Jess, I've gone 50-50. I think they could get engaged at the end of this. If the next weeks
Really?
go
I mean,
well.
engaged or just leave as a couple? I don't think they're getting engaged. They could maybe leave.
I don't know.
I don't see them.
We'll
I
see
don't
it. This
see
next week will be big for them, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, let's go ahead and do twofers then. We can just keep the same with Golden Batch. We hope Leslie wins and we hope Theresa
Yeah.
goes home.
I mean,
and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, we won't find out for another 2, 3,
Yeah.
2.5 weeks. So, and then Bachelor in Paradise. I don't think there's gonna be a rose ceremony this coming
So we
episode.
can still guess what guys you think going home.
Braden.
All right.
I think that's pretty simple. Staying, F Peter.
Nice. I think
I'll take it.
Michael ends up going home. The Michael who just joined the beach.
Okay.
And then I think
So who do you think Olivia gets the rose to? Just asking.
that's a good point.
Braden?
That's a good point.
A little return the favor. Return the favor.
Oof. I'll say this. I think Olivia walks away. I think she has
Okay.
I don't think she gives out a rose. I think she walks away and doesn't give a rose. She doesn't feel a connection. And I'll say Avon stays. I think they're getting engaged here soon. So there's
Okay.
that. All right. Anything else? Any headlines you want to talk about? Are we good?
I think that's it.
All right, amazing. Everyone go buy Batchmaker merch. It would help us a lot. Like the video, comment, subscribe.
Oh, one thing I have in my notes. This is from the Golden Bachelor. Woman tell all. Everybody was the Golden Grannies were like, there needs to be like more guys like you. Like, where do they come from? Or like, and Gerry says something. We all like this in Indiana,
Yeah,
and I was just
Indiana.
let's fucking go, Gerry! Shout out the 317. Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Indiana
that's an IU
boys
chant, though.
stay winning. Stay up,
Yeah, that was
Indiana.
huge for the state.
Huge for
the
our
state.
cred.
So,
You're right. That's a great
just wanted to
point.
shout that out.
I got excited when
Yeah.
he said that. I was on my couch. I stood up. I was like, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I was just like, let's fucking go.
317, baby. Represent. Sirs are killing it. Colts won today. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching Batchmakers. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next week, every Monday. Peace.